What up, though, and welcome to Hot Tub Hot Topics with the Hoskins. I'm Brittany and
Troy.
And we are going to be giving you some updates that you guys have been asking for. And we'll talk about some other stuff as well, but mostly the stuff you guys asked us for. We are going to give you all of the hot tea on what? We're going to start off with. Okay, so we'll start with the house. We still have both houses. So first of all, we are coming live to you from the hot tub at our country estate out in Howell. But we still have the house in Sterling Heights, our suburban getaway. That was not supposed to be the plan, like at all. It wasn't even remotely supposed to be the plan. What ended up happening, long story short, is our buyer's financing fell through at the last minute. You want to elaborate?
They were pretty much like, they were pretty much like, never like, when we found out approved or anything, never sent us money, never even got a pre-approval letter. And the way it happened was probably a whole other story. Our realtor, we just really dropped the ball. So wasted about a month of our time on a deal that was never going to go through.
The deal was never going to go through. So I'll start from the beginning. We had our open house. Our house is really beautiful. We got offers from our very first day of showing it. We got offers at the open house, and then we got offers at the second open house. But the very first open house, this buyer came from, and our agent was like, I don't know if I'm gonna be able to get them to wait until Monday. I really think this is a great offer. This is the offer that you need to be, taking. You need to be, taking this offer seriously, and I don't know if we can wait. And I'm like, well, we have another open house tomorrow, so why would we take offer today when we might have more offers tomorrow? And now at this time I didn't even know that we had other offers on the table because our agent never told us. Our agent basically was like, well, those offers were not offers that I felt like you would consider realistically, so I never even wasted your time with them. So my question was like, well, why aren't we taking it highest and best? If we got 3 offers within 48 hours, why would we not take it highest and best? Well, anyhow, he didn't feel like we should take it highest and best and that this was the offer to take. How did I feel about that?
No, he was against it from the start, but for transparency, he was thinking that it fit our timeline. We were trying to not wait because our kids, they started school early in here out in Howell. We started August 20th. So the quicker we could get them settled, not do what we actually end up doing, living in hotels, having them inconvenience. We just figured it would be better. He felt it would be better to just take that offer. That way we get a quick turnaround. Possibly we were looking at, September 3rd at the latest?
August 22nd was our original closing date. On paper, the offer...
Sorry, it got pushed back so many times. So
on paper, the offer made sense, right? Like, they gave us our bottom line offer. They had the timeline offer that we want. And there was one more thing. Oh, and they were going to give us 30-day occupancy to be able to move out of the house. So the agent negotiated the whole deal for us before it even made it to us. He had already lined the deal up to be all of the key things that we wanted. But I still didn't feel very good about the deal from the very beginning because a couple things. One, when they're coming off aggressive like that right off the bat, I don't want you to look at anybody else's offers. I don't want you to I want you to take my offer right now. I didn't like that. I felt like I was being backed into a corner. I also didn't like that we didn't see all of the deals. I'm from the mortgage industry. I also didn't like that I wasn't familiar with the mortgage company on the pre-approval letter. There were just some things that didn't make sense to me that I didn't necessarily like. So I wasn't very fond of the deal from the very beginning, but I love this house that we're in right now. And that deal kind of provided a means to an end. So I was like, all right, fine, let's roll with it. Right out the gate. Right out the gate, bro.
Yeah, it was just like, just stuff from the beginning. They started trying to come with sham stuff on the inspection. Then they came back, wanted us to pay them for the occupancy, security deposit. It was too much, and then everything just kept getting delayed, up until the point where the deal was going to be in jeopardy.
If you've been following the journey, then you already know that at the inspection phase, they came to us and was like, yeah, well, there's water in your basement. Our basement is finished over there. There's only maybe about 100 square feet of unfinished basement. If there was water in the basement, like, you would be able to see it because they're easy. I went down there and like, there's no water in our basement. Like, what are they talking about? Then it turns out they were like, well, no, the moisture reader on the inspections, on the inspector's reader said that there was water in the basement. Oh, and your pool is a hybrid. It's an above ground that's dug into the ground with in-ground plumbing, but if I knew it wasn't a real in-ground, I wouldn't offer that much. So we want 12 grand off of the price. I was like, absolutely not. Absolutely not. It's a no for me. But my agent was like, well, I feel like if we go back on the market right now, it's going to appear that something was wrong with the house. They really kind of backed us into a corner because the inspection period right now, if we don't take their offer, then it looks like something was wrong with the house. It's just not going to be ideal for you. It puts you at a disadvantage. So now I'm pissed that we kind of still got to kind of play ball with this buyer that I already didn't like from Jump Street. And so I told him I wasn't going to come down to 12K. I was like, we could do 10K maybe, and y'all get creative with it. So the agents decided that they were going to split some of the outfall, and we got to a agreement. All right, so now at this point, now my red flags and my spidey senses is up through the roof. So I'm on everybody's ass. I'm on everybody's ass at this point. So they asked for, so in the same time of them asking for this money off, we also know that they're going to need an extension because they were promising us a closing by August 22nd. But by this time, it's like, what, August 16th or so? It's like August 16th. And so there's no way we're closing that fast. And my agent's like, yeah, they're ready to go. There's definitely a chance that we could close on Friday. Blah, blah, bleepity bleep. I said, I'm signing one extension. And if after that one extension they ain't got it, I don't care what you're talking about. Like, I don't like this buyer to begin with. I don't feel comfortable with it. And if everything keeps telling me that it's not right, then we're pulling out. And so, anyhow, they end up not doing the appraisal right away. And I'm like, hey, why is the appraisal not ordered yet? And they're like, well, the appraisal isn't ordered yet because you guys haven't come to an agreement. I'm like, what you mean, bro? Like, we came to an agreement. And I guess they were like, well, we want to change it. Instead of the agents doing a split, now we want to take it all as buyer concessions so that they can do the updates that are needed to the house. I'm like, at this point, I'm furious. I'm furious, okay? You want to get in on this? No? Okay, I'm going to keep going. And so my agent's like, well, I would advise my client not to have ordered the appraisal yet either. I'm like, no, you wouldn't, because I wouldn't be playing with people's livelihoods like this. I would have already done what I was supposed to have done by this point. If we're supposed to be closing by August 22nd and it's August 16th and they haven't even signed the appraisal yet, ordered the appraisal yet, and we've given them everything they asked for, they're not a serious buyer, Justin. Like, there's nothing you can tell me that would make me be convinced that they're serious. And so they get the appraisal. No, nothing comes back. All is well. So we're like, all right, cool. We're going to be ready to close August 28th. This is the one extension that I gave them. I was like, all right, I'll give them 1 week to get it together. Because if you were really ready after the appraisal, you should be able to get this job done in a week.
Yeah, mind you, this is like our 2nd week of commuting. This is going into Labor Day weekend.
Because the kids started school August 20th. So at this point, our kids are in school, and we had made the decision to put them in school out here because we were pretty set that we were gonna buy this house. Like, we love this house. We were pretty, like, for sure we were gonna buy this house. And so we were like, well, we wouldn't want them to start school in Sterling Heights. Then we have to pull them to a whole new school district after the school season has started. So we were like, we're going to just do the hard thing, which is stay in a hotel while we're closing. It's just a week. No biggie. A week turned into 2 weeks real fast. And by this point, I'm fed up. I'm sad.
Yeah, you were already looking for ways out.
Oh, yeah. At this point, I'm looking for a way out, okay? I'm searching. But they were like, Brittany, you just being anxious. You just being, what was the word they said? Anxious, and you were being nervous. Like, basically, like, you had misplaced anxiety. And I'm telling you, it don't feel good. So, anyhow, turns out we get a call from our agent that's like, hey, Quicken is actually holding it up. And they're the reason why we can't close. I'm like, no, we're clear to close. They're like, no, the buyer's going through Quicken too. I'm like, well, when the hell did that happen? Like, when the hell did that happen? So Quicken has an interest to make sure that both deals close or whatever. So I don't think that they would just be holding something up. Turns out the buyer really had never qualified and some other stuff along the lines that we really can't even discuss. But long story short, they weren't going to be getting approved. And at this point, now they're asking me, well, Brittany, that sidebar plan that you had, can you still activate it? I'm like, you mean the one that you were saying that I had too much anxiety for, and that's the reason why we shouldn't be doing it? You mean the little back pocket plan that y'all told me to nix? Yeah, it's still in play. So I called our banker. Shout out to Sam Meany, okay? SAMERNEMEH. Sam Meany over at Quicken Loans, Rocket Mortgage. He fought tooth and nail for our deal. So we had to unravel our loans, suspend it out so that we could try and get a different plan going. You want to take it from here? The different plan was that we could keep both houses.
Now, I would interject.
Okay.
No, because during this time, like, a lot of the reason why I'm not like as focused, like, you know, I've been working crazy. You know, I work midnight shift, so I'm not really privy to what's going on. Like, I'm on texts and deals right here, but you know, Brett's pretty much like over everything.
Driving the boat.
Yeah, so you know, I'm trying to help a little bit, get these kids, contribute a little bit from how to work, which is added. So that's an adjustment. But I just remember getting a random call on like a Tuesday, Wednesday, or Thursday, like, hey, how bad do you want this house? Like, let me know. And I'm like, what you mean? She like, pretty much, like, we want it, we gonna, what you willing to do, how much money you got, where you hide and stuff. And I'm like, you know, I got this here, I got this there. And she like, and you know, I did some things, put some projections into my chat GPT, you know, prayed about it, and I was like, yeah, let's do it. It's gonna be a lot, you know, but let's just pull the trigger upwards of, I think, what, almost 70K, bro?
70K.
About 70K, and you know, that's a lot. You know, we work hard for everything we got. Like,
we
whatever.
not trust fund babies.
No, we not.
We regular working people like y'all, like entrepreneur here, plant man here. Like, we are your blue collar everyday people.
And that's what I think is so surreal and different about this process is telling everyone I'm just an everyday worker. I'm a supervisor at Ford, been there for about 4 or 7 years. People can know the salary we make. Britt has her business. What like we was just going to mom or daddy like, hey, cut us this check so we could get our dream house, or like she said, go into a trust fund so we can make this happen. But we'll just say it's just a testament of the hard work we've put in, being good stewards of what we have. People see what we project on Facebook, but there's just a lot of hours and just things that go into that. So, that is a big step for us. It's like, hey, do we do this? We can keep our, nice house, which isn't bad, and, go there, maybe look at, maybe something down the line. But I also feel like things like this rarely happen. They fall into your lap. Even looking for houses like this where there wasn't a lot that really fit the criteria.
I had a laundry list of things I wanted.
She looked at how many houses you saw? I know that you went and personally visited.
I probably went and visited like 10.
Yeah. And
research maybe like 20.
Yeah, and it's a lot that goes into that. The distance, the location,
the zoning,
yes,
the splitting of the land, all of that stuff is stuff that we had to do for every property we were considering. There were some properties that were closer to the city that they weren't going to allow us to split it off to make the compound in the future. So we're buying 10 acres plus, but they're like, well, this is wetlands, you can't build on that, or we don't allow more than one residence on this or that. And so every property came with a little mini book report that I had to do.
They had their own caveat with it, and like I say, us seeing it out here and people that have been able to see it, it's like you can't pass something like this up. So pretty much told her, let's pull out all stops, let's pull hit the emergency button, do what we have to do to make this happen.
Yes, definitely hit the crunk button.
And we did, and we're going through it.
We had already had like a certain amount of money set aside for a down payment, like that was already there. And it was like, well, if y'all still want to close, now the sellers of our house that we're in now have been amazing. Yes. But they were logical. They're like, we don't want to wait another 30 to 45 days for you to potentially have another buyer.
And they had
a backup offer.
They had a backup offer. Yeah. So it wasn't like we had to, okay, if you guys don't have this buyer, just to put everything together, like they were going to allow us to go out.
And just get another buyer.
Yeah, try to, that's another month down the line. Then once again, is that another month that commuting we want to do? So costs start accumulating, just convenience isn't cool. Like you thinking, we have a big family. My kids are used to being comfortable. They have their own home. They can frequent. They have their own room. They have their own space. They're sharing one room with mom, making that happen.
At a new school, a new school district, right? In a new place. It was just really hard on the kids, which was the biggest piece for me. And so we were like, all right, cool. We already had people who were interested in renting our home. So that was already something that was in the back book because, again, I told you I was working this pseudo line on the side anyway. So they were like, so Rocket's like, do you have a renter? I'm like, yep, I already had somebody waiting to tell me, like, drop the deal, let me rent it from you. And, do you got like $45,000 more dollars? I was like, just cash? On top of the 40 I done already gave you? I already gave you 40. And they was like, yeah, we need 45 more. I was like, that's going to deplete me, right? And so I was like, all right, but I believe in this dream. It's going to be a little bit harder than what I want it to be. So, we went and drained all of my accounts, like all of them, every last one of them, down to like almost nothing, because we believed in this dream. And so on the back end side, now our agents and I are talking about how do we go after this buyer's earnest money, right? They did not contractually fulfill any points of the contract, and really from the beginning it didn't even seem like they really were going to.
I think it cost us a lot, like way more than we were expected, and it's like not even that would even make us whole. So I'm like, bump and take all of it.
Yeah,
take they got earnest money. Like we need to go.
This is the purpose of earnest money. Like
so you can negotiate in good faith. And I'm like, throughout this whole process, none of that was exuded. None of that was displayed.
Zero. No urgency. No.
At all. After we told you what was this, so hindsight 2020. A lot of this too, we're finding out real time as well, like how everything was just a shit show on our end. That makes you want to get mad at yourself, see what you didn't see, but we still end up acquiring this awesome home. So
no, y'all gotta hear about the EMD drama. I'm about to tell you. I'm about to spill all of the tea because everybody dropped the ball. Okay, we getting hot, so we're gonna do this in 4 minutes because we almost at 25 minutes. Okay, so our agent is negotiating the earnest money. It's like 2 weeks in. I'm like, all right, bruh. Is they doing it or is they not doing it? Because I'm ready to get our house off the market. Because if we do decide we want to sell in the future, in the spring again or something like that, I don't want it to be that our house was on the market for 100 and something days or whatever. So I'm thinking like my prior real estate agent self as well. Like, hey, we need to pull this house off the market. Like, we need to start moving things. 2 weeks is obnoxious to be negotiating an earnest money. Either they're going to give it to us or we're going to pursue legal action. Like, it's very simple. It doesn't take 2 weeks to find that out. Well, our agent gives us a call like, nah, there's got to be a call because usually we text. He tells my husband that the buyer never actually even remitted the earnest money.
So nothing that was going to hold them accountable. And it's just like, what were we doing through this whole process?
It just make us look like
it just made us
novice.
And we did our homework. We vetted this deal. We made sure we was intentional about choosing our real estate.
This a broker. It came as a referral. I mean, okay. So anyhow, so his suggestion is that we get our attorney involved because it's a slam dunk case. I call my attorney and I've got a recording for my attorney too. But my attorney is like, Britt, I really wish that I could tell you more than what I'm about to tell you. But the fact of the matter is, if you didn't secure the very thing that was your security, then you have no real case because they never gave you the earnest money, so you should have never considered them a real true buyer. So you should have walked, or you should have been pursuing other buyers. You should have still been showing the house. You should have been acting as though
we didn't have a deal.
You didn't have a deal because really, in all reality, you didn't have a deal. It's like going out on faith. I took your word and you lied. I can't sue you over that.
Everyone knows has to be offer acceptance.
Right, I'm gonna put some money down on that thing, and that is So he was like, "Yeah, bro, you really don't have a case, and I really hate that for you."
So the one thing that could at least soften the landing a little bit, we don't even get that. And we was even trying to be reasonable, say half.
Right, give us half of the earnest money.
It's it's nothing to get.
So my agent, we still haven't heard back from him, bro. We still haven't heard back from him. Our agent, I was like, go ahead and get the house unconditionally withdrawn, please. This was just worse than I could have ever imagined, and I'm not okay. So, please just, leave it alone.
You also told her you never want to work with him again.
I didn't use those words. I didn't say that. I said I do not want any further encumbrances because I don't want any future dealings.
I don't want to do any future business with you.
Ever. Never no more. And so,
I wouldn't recommend that guy to sell a bounce house.
Don't say that.
I wouldn't.
Don't say that.
Nah,
He was aggressive on our buy side, like what we were buying. He was a shark, but on our sales side, I felt like
I don't
we were
want to
just
get into talking about that kind of disparagement, but just behind the scenes, it was a lot that could have just been done
better, like at the very base minimum, like. And then I just didn't like. For me, I'm like, as an entrepreneur, mistakes happen. Like mistakes happen. So I'm actually one to extend grace to small business owners when mistakes happen. But the fact that he was not willing to take any accountability pissed me off. He's like, well, it's everybody else's fault, not our fault. I asked the title company if they had got it, and they told me that the buyer was wiring it. They never told me that they never wired it. I said, did you ever follow up and ask if they received the wire? Oh, no. They didn't call you and say, hey, we never got your buyers. And then he's like, and the agent knew that he never gave the EMD. And and he's been negotiating with me in bad faith. So he was deceitful, and it's really his fault that we're negotiating about an EMD that doesn't exist. He's like, if I ask for proof and they don't supply it, they're not legally bound to. I'm like, but did you ask for proof? Because you got a shark that you're representing. So imagine if you would have told me that they're not willing to give us proof of the earnest money, I would have pulled the deal immediately. Immediately. There would have been no deal.
Man.
But you didn't. You stripped me of that. So now I'm pissed. But anyhow, so here's the truth of the matter. The good, the bad, and the ugly of it all. We have both houses. We own over $1 million in real estate portfolio across 3 different properties, 3 beautiful homes, which is amazing.
3 beautiful areas, so.
Yeah, and we're going to be able to rent them out and obtain cash flow on them that way as well, which is great. But that takes time. So in between now and that time, it means that all of our cash reserves that we had saved up to do rentals, or that we had saved up to get us through the move, we tapped that all out in order to make the move, right? And so that made this move even harder for us. So even though it's a blessing and it will, in the end, be an amazing financial attribute to our portfolio.
Yeah, because I was talking to, I work with like a lot of builders at work, and they all like, no, you need to get the house on the market now. You don't want to get hit with the homestead, not having a homestead on your properties and all that, which is a lot that goes into true story. Like a lot that you have to be prepared for. But I think, God don't make any mistakes. I know a lot of people don't want to bring God into it, but just being in position, that's what I mean by God don't make any mistakes, is we're in position to hold these. And I think is a blessing that, we got to work through, which we
we can't hold it forever.
Yeah.
Because sis is not giving up too many trips now. The house will be on the market expeditiously. But
no, it's a lot. You're looking at, possibly paying damn near 10,000 at mortgages, and we just regular folks. regular.
So one of these got to start spending some money around the block real fast.
We gotta churn.
And so that's where we are. It's a blessing, curse, all at the same time, but we're looking at it as a blessing. One of the other good things that came about from that is Troy is making a hell of a commute. And so having the Sterling Heights property, which is only about 3 miles away from his job, still allows him to be over there during the weeks where he's working 12 hours, 7 days. He's able to go over to the house and rest before he commutes here. So that has also put some strain on us. So we're really so on top of the financial strain, it's put marital strain because we don't see each other every day. So he might come home on a weekend, and I'm an event planner, so I'm usually working the weekend. And so I'll be gone most all day Friday, Saturday, and mostly Sunday too, and he's going back out for work. So there have been times where we don't see each other at all now.
Yeah, it causes strain. Like I said, You know, we have our turn. We never want to get into the oppression Olympics of who's doing what to make this happen. But, you know, it's frustrating. You work 12 hours and then I get home around, I probably get out here around 4 o'clock. She might not get here, you know, about 5 or 6. And then her day, about that time, I'm resting. And then I got to be up by 8 to get ready for work, leave out by 9 so that I can get back to Sterling Heights. So this weekend was like the one weekend that I had off, and magically Saturday she's out 12 hours and I'm just home. So it's like I'm rested, but we don't get to see each other. Good thing we was able to spend time with family.
Yes, family's big for us, so I think that that's the one thing that we always find common